ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವನಿಗಾದರೂ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಕಡಿಮೆಯಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಅವನು ದೇವರನ್ನು ಕೇಳಿಕೊಳ್ಳಲಿ, ಅದು ಅವನಿಗೆ ದೊರಕುವುದು. ದೇವರು ಹಂಗಿಸದೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಉದಾರ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಿಂದ ಕೊಡುವವನಾಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಆಮೆನ್.
So here I'm going to talk about asking God for help or any of the things that you may need. While asking God for the things you need right now, we ask God whenever we are like suffering or if we just need something very badly. We'll ask God, God please help me, God please give me this, God do something about this, God please help me. So while asking God about these stuff, God will think, okay, is this good for my child? If this is not good for my child, if this is okay for my child, if it's not okay for my child, is it useful for my child? If it's not useful for my child. So here I'm going to talk about asking God for help. When I was in 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, when the questions I had in thinking, now the questions I didn't properly study, they'll come nicely in the question paper freely. Those proper questions I couldn't study properly, it'll come number 1 list. So what I'll do is I'll look at the question 5-10 minutes continuously. I'll look at that question. Okay, I'll say okay, I'll write this later. I'll finish my question paper, then I'll just look at this paper, look at that same question. Sometimes the questions I don't study, I don't know why it every time happens to me like this. The questions I don't study properly, they'll somehow manage to come on that exam paper, and those questions will be 10 marks, 15 marks, 20 marks, literally. Okay, half of the time, literally, every time I don't study one question, it will come 10 marks, 15 marks, that question only. I'll simply look at the paper 10 to 15 minutes and I'll ask God, God, please do something in my situation, oh God. Help me to write this question. At least let me get 5 marks or 10 marks in writing this question, God. Please help me, Father. Help me, I beg of you, I'll do anything. Just help me in this question. Somehow, that day on 4th grade, I did that. The teacher, she came, then she looked at my paper and she took one pencil. She started writing the answer right above there and she said, erase this later once you're done the copying. That's what the teacher did. Literally, she told don't tell anybody about this. Somehow, I wrote that question and I got 12 marks out of 15 in that thing. Because I think some marks cut because of, I don't know. I got 12 out of 15 in that question mark and I really thank that teacher. I forgot her name as well. She was such a helpful. God helped me while telling the teacher somehow. God helped me in that as well. Out of 15 marks, I got 12 and I got saved in that question paper. So I thank God for that. Like that also, sometimes those reasons happen. We'll ask God, right? Somehow we'll ask God, God, help me, God, in this situation. Help me, Father, please. I don't know where to go. I can't look here. I can't look left or right. I just need your help. God will show you the direction, am I right? He'll show you the direction. He'll tell you which is the right way. He'll give you the answers. But unless, if you all, in case somebody tells you to go in an Uber, you said, no, I don't like Uber. God, please help me. God, give me a car. God, help me, your Father. Okay, if you can't go in the Uber, okay, example, right now, in 5 minutes you have to go to some place. You don't want to go into an Uber. But you have to ask God, God, please help me, help me. I understand the situation. God will help you somehow. But in case, if you already have a car, but that car isn't really nice, you have to go to a nice, great place. In 5 seconds, will God just give you, is this useful for you? See, if you already have a car, and then if you ask God, God, give me a better car, God, I don't like this car you have given me before. God, please help me, this car is very ugly, I don't like it, it's completely slow, it has no features in it, it has nothing in it. God, give me a better car, God. Will God sit and listen to you for this? Will he listen to you? No. God has already given you something which is helpful for you. Unless that thing is destroyed somehow, unless that thing he has given you turned out bad, if you again ask God, God, Please help me, oh Father. The thing you have given me before is gone now. Help me, oh Father. Let me get something from you, oh Father. Help me to get a better thing, oh Father. Then God again, He will give you, right? But if you already have something and if you don't like that God has given you, will God again give you the same thing but a much betterly? Of course, He will give it to you unless it is destroyed, unless something is wrong with it. But in case if you think like this and say, okay, I'll go destroy my new phone that my father bought me. If you go destroy it and you say, Appaji, it broke, Appaji. Please, Appaji, buy one new one for me. My father will listen to me or what? If I do this, will you listen to me? Huh? If I go take the phone that you bought me and I throw it on the ground and I smash it with a hammer, will you buy me one more? No, right? He won't even think on even going to the shop only. He won't even think on getting on the bike only. Once you do that. So even our Father is also the same. If you destroy the thing He has given to you, He won't again give it to you back. When we ask God, we have to ask the things that we actually need. When we are asking Him something in help, and when you are stuck in a situation and you really need this thing, if you ask God, He will give it to you. No matter how hard it is, He will give it to you. Even last time, Harshita was also telling about the uniform situation. God helped her in the last moment itself. Am I right? Then if you are really stuck in that situation, like how Harshita was stuck in that situation, God gave it to her in the last moment. And she went to college, she went to the school or college, she wrote the exam and she came back in the uniform itself, right? She proved her friends wrong, she prayed to God and she asked, God, please help me in this situation. God helped her. Like that also, even when we are stuck in a situation, even when we have nothing in our hands, we have to just ask God, God, please help me. Many of us have been in such situations and we just pray to God, and I bet God helped you. I know that God helped you in that situation, no matter how hard it was. Am I right? God had helped you all in many situations that you couldn't get yourself out of, but God brought you out of that, showing you the right path and giving you the thing that you asked the most. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. So even in so much of trouble, even if you're in the most deepest pit and you have no ladder, you have no cell phone, nobody to call for help, God will somehow help you, right? He'll somehow a random car will be coming through that way where you are there, and if you scream for help, God will at least help you in that situation. The car will come and look, the person who's in the car will come and look, and he'll call somebody, right? He'll bring you out, right? That's how God helps us. Even in our deepest moments, even when we are suffering the most, He will help us. All we need to do is ask for His help. It's not that hard to ask God's help, am I right? See, if you ask God for a thing, He will give it to you. If you ask God, God, help me, He will give it to you. Just asking God for something isn't hard at all. Just sit where you are or sit anywhere you are having free time. Pray to God, ask Him, God, help me in this. Help me. Let me learn from you. At least save me from the situation I am. Anybody, no matter where or what time it is, anywhere, literally. Even if you're in the middle of the ocean itself, pray. Ask God, God, please get me out of this ocean. He'll help you. Whenever these situations happen, most of the time we look somewhere else. We say, okay, I have to figure this out by myself. I have to do something for myself. No. Number one, it's when you feel like there's nobody to help you, remember, God is always there right beside you to help you any time, any matter. Even if you're simply alone, by yourself, somewhere in the middle of an island, pray to God, ask Him. God is always with you in any time, any moment. He won't leave you and go somewhere else. He is there with everybody. So even if nobody is next to you, God is next to you. Ask Him for help, no matter what. Most of the time we'll just say, nobody is with me, nobody is there next to me. See, nobody is here. Who should I ask for help? No, God is next to you. He's right above you. He's always there for you. So asking God for help isn't that hard at all. You have to always ask God for help. Even if in case if you're ill, if you have some sickness, the doctor said it is impossible to heal you, right? God will help you, right? He will. Even if anything is possible for God. In case even if you are stuck in the middle of an island, nobody knows where that island is. That island is a complete mystery. Nobody knows where you are. God will help you in that situation. If you are ill, if you are in if you are even on your deathbed also, God will bring you out of that. He will heal you. Ask God. That's it. If you ask God for help, He will help you. In case any matter of which, even if you are ill, if you are stuck in somewhere, if you need help immediately in that very second, ask God. Hachita told about her uniform. In the last minute, she got help. Even my exam paper also, that last moment in 20 minutes, the exam had to be over. That also, God helped me there. In many ways, God has helped us through any matter, any way. Right? He's helped us even in the most smallest detail. He has gone in case even if there's traffic on the way, He'll somehow go between the lines and He'll come and help us. That's how God is. He's always there for us. Even between our father or our mother, in case if I get hurt, or in case if I'm there in somewhere and if I get hurt, and who is the first one who will come running to me? Right? My mother or my father will come and see what is wrong with my foot or what is wrong with my hand. They'll at least see what is wrong, and they will help me, right? My parents are always there next to us. In case if you already moved out of your house and there's nobody next to you, ask God. Or in case if you are in such a depression state, call your parents or something. That's it. Even your parents also, even if they're in a downfall, we are there to help our parents, or even our grandparents are there to help them. See, our parents, they're one of the greatest gifts that God has given us to us, right? A person, when they first get up and when a child is born, the first people they see is their parents. And the first people that the child has ever gotten help from is their parents, right? Through many difficulties, our parents have always been there next to us. Even through the most deepest, even the most saddest, they're always being next to us, and they're always helping us. If we ask one small question, our parents will help us. Even for me, if I had to ask for my mother about one MCQ or for our school math projects and all, my mother was always there to help me. Even if she had her own works, she made time for me and she helped me out. Even for my father also. In many situations, if I ask my father for a little help, he'll always take his own time, he'll put it aside, put his works aside, and he'll help me out. Even God is like that. In case even if God has work to do, he'll always put aside his works and he'll help us out, right? Our parents are like that. Our God is like that. He made us like that to ask Him, right? Always you have to ask the person who's next to you, or in case if you have nobody next to you, ask God, ask Him for help, ask Him to at least help you in the most deepest times, in the most saddest times, right? Asking God isn't that hard. Even if you are in a really bad situation, you have to always ask God throughout many times. Even if you don't really think that God will help you, if you think, no, it is impossible for God to help me in this situation, ask God. He will always be next to you, and He will always tell you, child, do this. This is the right thing. Child, this is the answer. Child, this is where you have to go. He'll be there.